The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, traders. Can you hear me and see my screen? If you could just type yes in the questions, and we'll get started. All right. Okay. Thank you, Gary. Okay. Welcome to the Bookmap Live Order Flow Advanced Analysis webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. Trading, risk disclaimer, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so what we're going to go through is we're going to try a few different things today, but we're going to take a big step back, look at the higher time frame charts, see what's going on, mark up some areas there, and then we're going to look at the order flow and analyze it, and then look for where the price might go based on our analysis. Okay. So let's jump in here and just take a look at our half-hour chart first. Just kind of draw up some levels that we're looking at here. Let's see, what do I be interested in? All right, so I do like this little level down here. Obviously, this is the low of the overnight session. Okay, and you can see we came up into this 55 area up here, and then we've sold right back down into kind of this, this was the overnight level here. So yeah, I don't really have too many levels here to take a look at on this half-hour chart. I do like, yesterday's high, of course, and yesterday's low from the cash session is here. But we've already come down, obviously below that during that overnight. Okay, so yeah, let's jump into Bookmap and take a look here and see what's going on. And let's zoom out. Okay, and let's take a look at this bigger picture and where we are going. Okay, all right, here's our 9:30 open here. It looks like that's where we're going. Actually, let me zoom in just a little bit more. There we go. Here's our 9:30 open. We're just coming down to that, finding quite a bit of liquidity down here. So, this is one of the structures that higher time frame we look at all the time. Right? This is we can see the break of this range down here. Okay, and this was around 9:21. Okay, we moved on up, and then the open here at 9:30, and just moved dramatically, or really nicely here to the upside, up into this 55 area, and we see real nice pullback now as well. Okay, but here's the nice thing to see on this higher time frame. Here's the liquidity here pre-market. Okay, they actually pull a lot of it, as you can see, as price comes up through this area, and they're flipping over to the other side, and that's exactly where we've just traded to and we just bounced from. Okay, this is longer term liquidity that's been in this book for a while here at 40, as you can see, and some of these other levels as well. Trade down into it. We don't even trade 40, and then we're starting to find some buyers stepping in here. Okay, so good stuff there. Where this might go, well, we were targeting 45 in the previous webinar, and let's see if we can get up a little bit higher, maybe 46 here. Okay, maybe even back up into 48 area here, or yeah, 48 and a quarter, somewhere around there as well. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, so using Bookmap on the higher time frames and understanding the what's going on with the relationship between liquidity and volume. And let me bring down the volume dots a little bit. Right. Well, yeah, so we can see that price moving up here, but 48 was, maybe where we might be headed here. But I don't see a lot of liquidity up in that area here, but that's where we dropped from, was up here. Okay. 46 is, if this was a really strong move here, and let's zoom in a little bit. And it wasn't the strongest move to the downside. I mean, we do see some volume here. Looks pretty good. But the stronger the move, the more shallow the pullback. You know, this move quickly here to the downside. I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of sell volume in it, so that's why we're getting this pretty deep pullback here. And let's see if the buyers will step in again here. Maybe right here at this 44 level here. I don't really like it that much, but the only reason that I'm looking at it here is you can see the volume here where it initiated and broke from this little range here. Okay, and we're just testing it now. So if that's the case and the buyers are going to support it, well, they need to jump in now. Okay, and they need to move this back up into at least the swing here, 45 and a half. Here they come, and then let's see if we can get a little higher. Okay, so yeah, 46 to 47 level, but yeah, even 48 where you can see it drop from up here, somewhere around there. Okay, so we've come up and tested here this high. Let's take a look at these buyers, what kind of strength they have as well. It's not a lot, right? It's not bad though. It's not bad actually. Starting to exhaust out here though, up at this area like previously. All right, it'd be nice to see another book skew here, and let's see these buyers step in on the bid side, and they're not. They're pulling instead, and we're finding some sellers here. All right. All right, so yeah, the buyers they're not supporting this. We're coming back down probably to well, here's where they initiated, just a few ticks away. But what I like is the bottom of the range a lot better here. Let's see if we can maybe get down, see if those sellers mean business here. Pull back to this volume node here at the moment. Let's see if the sellers can get it down here again to the this swing low at 41. All right. We're going to go through it again today. I think this exercise of turning off the volume dots and kind of flying blind by volume can be really helpful to understand the liquidity heat map. Okay, because we're also accustomed to looking at this at traded volume, and we want to take away that distraction and just focus on some of the liquidity, and then anticipate price movement based on that liquidity. Okay, because we'll put the pieces together here. Okay, now we're just range bound here. We're finding those buyers yet again back up to the top. Okay, so it did come back down into this volume node here, as you can see. That was the pullback. All right, here's another pullback here. And let's see if they're going to support it. No, yeah, they are actually. It looks like, yeah, they are. This is pretty quick volume at the moment. We're looking at some, pretty small areas here, but let's see if they can finally move this now. Looks pretty good. I mean, the volume's starting to trade up here. I think they're going to sweep it high into 46 or 47 here. Yeah. Now this is classic S&P. You get these rotations back and forth like this. Other markets, you'll have less rotations like that. Okay, I still like the higher area here. Maybe, yeah, maybe 47 and a half. I was thinking maybe 48 and a quarter, but maybe 47 and a half, somewhere around there. All right, yeah, here come the buyers. Okay, they're pulling at 47. Okay, the target in terms of liquidity is 49. But I'm first interested to see how it reacts up here, where they initiated. All right, let's check out the order book here and see what's going on. We see some action here, so this is going to give us some insight. Okay, buyers just took those guys on at 46. They took them on again. All right, let's see them sweep it then. If they're going to take them on and they're aggressive here, then we should see this trade higher. Okay, let's see it right here. This is where we'll see them. Okay, order book again is starting to thicken up a little bit below. Come on, buyers, let's see it. Here they come. Okay, let's get to 48. They're starting to show some interest here at 48. Okay, that was our target. We're up at 47. Come on, let's get up to 48 here. Our target was around this zone, somewhere between 47.5 and 48.25. But it's nice to see them come in here at 48 and support that. And another rotation here. Okay, it did exhaust out here on that sell side. Okay, but we need to see the buyers up here, or we need to see something in that order book. Okay, note they're starting to pull here now though, and then they come right back in. All right, let's see that. Let's see that those buyers. Let's see them reach 48 now. Buyers exhausted out at 47. That's not good. So we're right back in the range, as you can see. All right, you can also see here, let's open up our cumulative volume delta. We've been looking at that. And let me also turn on our point of control, which I'm going to turn this into a blue line. There we go. And then let's also turn on our VWAP here. Okay, the VWAP giving us a little bit of insight here, down at 42.5. Okay, we're above VWAP. Okay, and we're right in the middle right here. We're at the point of control right now. Okay, so that's why this is taking a little bit of time here. Okay, you can see the point of control here on the SVP column. Okay, 48. See, note how they're starting to layer in here, and below 48. So that's bearish. Okay, and here come the sellers. Okay, and they're starting to pull down here at 45. So that we're getting kind of a shift here in this order flow. Okay, here they come. All right, so let's see if we can get down into our VWAP area as well as this swing down here. Okay, so this auction was failing up here, and we noted it failing here in real time. Okay, adding in here, pulling on here, and then sellers are reading that, and here's their reaction to it. Okay, so some fake liquidity here, as you can see, they're pulling. They don't want to trade here, and then they're starting to show more and more here at 47, as you can see, starting to get orange instead of yellow. All right, so let's get down maybe a little bit lower here, and VWAP. Let's see if we can bounce off of this VWAP. Okay, we should start to see the book lighten up here, or thicken up, I should say, down at this VWAP. They're starting to a little bit, but yeah, not much, not much. Okay, and what's our CVD telling us? Not too much either. All right, let's see here. So we got real nice bounces off this VWAP, as you can see. This VWAP has been giving us some really nice nice data here, nice info. Okay, here we come down to VWAP. All right, I like this area. I like the swing down here. I like this also. There's VWAP here. So let's see the battle that kind of unfolds here at this level. And nothing in the order book right now at the moment except for down at 41. That's what we're seeing. Okay, it's starting to skew the book a little bit here, and buyers are starting to come in. Right. Okay, back up to where we just dropped from. Maybe we'll get a pullback right back to 43. There it is. Right there. And more sellers. Okay. All right. Well, maybe they want to break it a little lower and go into this 41 area here. Okay, 41 is a swing from back over here that we were looking at earlier, so I like that. But, you know, they got to trade through that VWAP here. Right. All right. Well, let's we're going to let's take off that go through that exercise. You know, we'll draw up some maybe you know, technical analysis as well, and start to look at order flow within that technical analysis. But let's just go through this example again with the or without the volume dots. All right, and we're just going to look at historical best bid and offer and the heat map, and that's it. Okay, and we're going to start to piece this together and utilize this heat map. Okay, note them starting to you know, show more liquidity here at higher levels now. Okay, on the bid, right? And what's the reaction though? What's price's reaction to that, or traders' reaction to that? Okay, it's kind of ho hum at the moment. Okay, they're going to skew it a little bit more. Let's see what happens now. Okay, buyers. Starting to find some buyers. All right, well, let's get back up into 47 now, because that's the target. That's the liquidity. Okay, we're at the POC, and we need to trade through that area. Okay, and this is where we drop from as well. So I might find some sellers right here. But you know, these guys look like they, you know, they're showing that they want to buy. They're adding in. Okay, no real reaction right now. One trader here, you know, we know that this is the same guy here, as we can look at the liquidity here, pulled, added higher. Okay, and then now we're starting to find some front runners as well. You know, liquidity at a few different levels here. And they're starting to get some cold feet here, as you can see. Then they add back in. All right, here we go, another rotation now. Let's get up into that 47 level. Let's see that. That would be the place to go here. And Okay, there we go. 47 is reached. Okay, what's the reaction up here in that book? Okay, 48 still interested, right? They're coming in. They came into the book earlier here, so they're still interested. All right. Now, are they interested now? Nope. See how they pulled. Okay. So let's see if the buying's going to continue. Maybe they'll bid it up here. Let's see if they do that. 48's coming right back in. Okay. And let's also just zoom out here for a moment and get a bigger picture perspective, because that 48 level was our target, right? Okay, so we just tested 48. All right, we should find some sellers up here because that's where they initiated down here, this quick move to the downside. Okay, and we're going to look for signs in the book here that's going to help us determine if we're going to get that move here. Okay, and what we're doing here is going through and understanding this auction at these levels, right? Understanding really, and what's important here is to go through this example very much like an auction. Okay, we want to think of the market here as an auction, let's go, through the example of the farmer's market. Okay, for like tomatoes, you're in that farmer's market, and the seller, he's the vendor there. He has the supply of tomatoes, and the buyers, they're interested in buying and consuming tomatoes. Okay, and they're on the bid, and you can see the price of tomatoes is going up here. Okay, why is that? Right. Well, it's because of the demand is going up as well, as you can see down in this area here. Okay, so we're actually now above that target area, and we did not find any sellers yet. Okay, so that's something to note. Let's see if we can get maybe a pullback into some of these levels here. But buyers are looking pretty. I mean, this wasn't anticipating that move there. Was anticipating a pullback since that's where we initiated that selling up here. So this is showing some strength. Anyway, let's just go through it. Okay, where are the sellers for those tomatoes? They're up here at the figure at 26.50. Okay, market knows it can trade up there. It can find, that's where this guy wants to sell his tomatoes, right? Where are the people that want to buy? Well, they're down here around 46. Okay, at the POC, and now they're starting to show a little bit of interest much higher. Okay, and what is the reaction? Okay, the seller is going to sell to them, and these guys starting to pull now. Okay, now we have the seller's showing more supply here at 48. Okay, and the reaction, well, the buyers took that on. And that was a deal for them. Okay, if that was the case, let's see if we can get up into 50 now, because we're showing appetite for the buyers. They consume that that price at 48. Okay, here they are at 48.5. So if they wanted it at 48, well, let's see if they can get it up into 48.5 now. Okay, one tick away. Okay, and he's pulling now. So where's it going to go? Well, if the buyers still have this appetite and they still think price is a deal, this is the next level, 50. Okay, here's that skew in that book. Let's see the move now. Let's see 50 trade. Let's see a little bit more. Come on, buyers. Let's see some more buyers line up. See how they're pulling though. So, did these buyers really want to buy? No. They're trying to get it up into 50. Okay. And the aggressor, those buyers here, they're not so eager to take on 50. It looks like it keeps on trading up here, and it can't get up into some of these highs here. Okay, at least for the moment. Okay, we're still bullish though. We're still in this range up here, and we're still holding that range. Here's our skew again, and let's read it. All right, they're still reacting to it like they don't want it here at 47. So our sellers don't want it. So let's see if we can get those buyers to get up to 50 now. Okay, we need to see it. This is our third rotation, or maybe even fourth rotation up there. Let's see some follow through now. You can see a little more supply coming in here between 49 and 50. There it is. And now there's their reaction to that. Okay, so it kind of spoiled the party for those aggressive buyers trying to get it up to 50. Okay, or they pulled again. So you can see the game plan going on here. Okay, so we're kind of stuck in this range at the moment, and we're looking for that follow through here, and then they start to come into the book with more liquidity. Okay, and it spoils that party. Else, I think we could have reached it here, right? So we're seeing a shift now. We're seeing more supply coming in, okay? And these guys now at 47 are starting to pull. All right, let's zoom out a little bit here and just get a bigger picture perspective. We're still holding the range, no question about it. Okay, and that's actually gonna get tested right now. So let me draw in that range right here, as you can see. Okay. And let's start to draw some trends in as well. Okay, it's holding these ranges pretty nicely as well. All right. Yeah. So well, let's see what happened here. Okay, so they pulled here at 47, but they're showing more interest down here, and we're still finding those buyers. Okay. And target for 50 also fits our technical analysis, so it looks good here. And let's see the follow through on this rotation. Here we go. And you can see this. I mean, that game plane and some of this. Good morning, Homera. You can see some of the game plane here. You can see some of the shifting of this liquidity here. But ultimately, looking at our structure here, okay, and noting the book here. And them pulling up this time as price was coming up on this rotation here, they started to pull. So looking for 50 to trade, and we came one tick away from 50 here. Okay, so 50 is obviously a key level, these round figures here, but looking for 50 to trade, looking for another skew here in this book, and because they're pulling, right? So the buyers are still they're shying away of this area here. But if we can just get maybe another skew in the book here, and maybe these guys start to pull again. Well, I think 50 is can easily trade here. Okay, so they are starting to pull, and they are starting to add in here, but at lower levels here, not the most aggressive. Anyway, why I'm going through this process obviously is to understand the auction process, understanding how this affects traders, and how price reacts to it. Okay, it gives us really good understanding of what's going on. Now we're going through this little area right here, okay, and understanding these shifts, but it doesn't. And in these webinars we go through these examples because we have that going on in front of us, but we can use this on much higher time frames. Okay, we can start to zoom out here and start to piece that together, like down at this area here, where we see them on the offer, flip to the bid side, and they still stay in the book here. Okay, so in a bigger range, actually, pretty nice. You can see that it's been down here at 40, and they've also been up here at 55 for quite a while, up at 55. Okay, pretty heavy liquidity on our higher time frame, up at 50 as well. Yeah, you have your VPOC at 50, Gary. Okay, I have some pre-market data, so mine's a little different than yours. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I still think we're, like the buyers are still showing strength. So I still think 50 is going to trade here, and let's see if they pull up there, because just because it's the figure is the only thing that I see in structure here. The other areas that I'm interested in would be up here at around 51.5 or 3/4, and then ultimately our high up at this 55 or 54 3/4. Yeah, I mean, I do like this area up here. Okay, but the liquidity is, in front of it. All right, well, maybe we need a strong rotation out of here to finally get up to 50. You will see this a lot of times. Let's just see if we may get a quick move on that sell side down, maybe to this POC for me at 46, or down below the swing here, and kind of get flush out some traders so that more buyers can step in and then finally move price up. But we're kind of struggling here. Our CVD, this is kind of where we see the most volume here, and obviously that's going to coincide with this area here. Other than that, it's pretty quiet, as you can see. All right, any questions? Questions on how this heat map affects traders? Okay, here's our rotation. Okay, 50 is traded, or at least tested. And let's see if we can get up into our level that we do like, which is up around here, 51, 52 area. All right, here we go. Here's our move. Let's see, are these guys pulling or are they trading? Okay, it looks like these guys are. They pulled at they pulled at 50 and 50 and a quarter, but it looks like up here they mean business here at 50 and 3/4. Looks like that traded. Anyway, yeah, Homer, I see you joined late. We're just going through this exercise here of turning off of volume dots and understanding the auction, okay, and treating it as an auction, okay. Buyers and sellers, supply and demand. The supply, it's up here at 50, 52, okay, and that's our level as well that we're interested in. So that's good. You know, buyers are you know, down here around this 48.5 at the moment. Yes, it's recorded. Okay, we've done this the last few days this week. All right, 52. Okay, we're right up into our level. There we go. Okay, so let's see what occurs up at some of these areas here. And let's turn on the volume for this one. Okay. Pretty nice move on that with the aggressive volume here. So maybe we won't stop here, but you know, we're not, you know, we're gauging it still. We're stalking this trade or this opportunity and see if what kind of unfolds here. Okay, looking for that clarity first and foremost. And they're bidding up here at 50, 51, but you can see they're countering that on the other side here. Okay, so they're up at 54 and 53 3/4. Okay, so there's still buying interest. All right, well, high of the day is 55, right? Or no, we never even tested 55. It's up here, just below it. Okay, these guys are front running it here, 54. All right, let's read the volume as well. I mean, seeing nice clusters at higher highs, so we're still seeing buyers, right? So let's get into 54 that we already are, and let's see if they can finally take on these guys at 55 because they did not earlier, right? So this is kind of key, understanding the big volume trading at higher highs. That gives us a lot of insight. Here now it's starting to note how it's starting to taper off up here. Okay, here we're getting insight. Okay, so not so much big buying now. We're starting to find sellers now. Right. So let's see if they lower that offer, and then you know, they're pulling down here as well on the bid, and maybe they can move this market down into maybe this area here at 51. Okay, 52 starting to show a little interest too. Okay, so sellers they're going to take this down, right? And let's start to target some of these areas here. Okay, note the auction, more supply at lower levels. All right, now this is going to give us good insight here. 51 3/4 because sellers, they did take it down, and then they're starting to exhaust out a bit here. And so we're starting to see a little more activity here that's going to give us insight. Okay, these guys pulled, so and we're just kind of in a little bit of a range here right now. I like the selling here, but it's still a tick higher. I'd like to see it a tick lower here for it to if they're going to continue to hit that bid. All right. Okay, here comes some buyers now. Okay, let's see them. Yeah, looks good. All right, guys, let's see if you can. They're pulling here, and they're adding back in. All right, just classic rotational market here. All right, nice skew there. Here's the reaction to that skew here was buyers. Okay, so let's get that cluster. Let's see 55 trade now. Okay. Come on, we know there's more buyers in here. We're reading them. We can see them. Here we go. Okay, here's 53.5. Let's see a sweep into 54 and 55. Okay, let's finally test 55. Okay, I like it. I like the skew as well. Let's see. Let's watch. See if they pull here at 55. Or 54. I'm sorry. Okay, and then 55 is our bigger picture as well. Okay, so we've been watching this small auction stuff all the way through, but let's zoom back out and look at our bigger picture. Okay, so nice bounce off our VWAP as we're noticing, as well as liquidity that was here around 38 to 39 or 40, and then it flipped over to 40, and then, oops, sorry about that. Let me zoom back out. Okay, there we go. So bigger picture here, yep, still, a lot of liquidity up here at 55. Yeah, 55, and then maybe 57 as well. Okay, and note the skew here. Note the skew that's just coming in here as well, just now, right? This skew looks really good, right? So this is, and we see the reaction to it. Okay, that looks like they come in and we find the buyers. Let's get to 55 now. Okay, the volume looks pretty good too. And there we go, 55 trades. All right, finally. Okay, well, anyway, putting those pieces together, let's review this. Understanding that auction, okay, understanding first off our bigger picture, our higher time frame levels up at 55, and it took a while here, some consolidation here, but we found a nice move to the upside. But this was really nice to see this at this last minute here. Okay, they just popped in, and we saw the reaction with the volume. Okay, so looking for that push finally up into 55 here, and we got it. So you can start to understand how you can put these pieces together, looking at the limit order book together with the reaction that traders have to these guys that are providing that high liquidity down at these areas. Right, and that's the process that we're going through. All right, now since we're up and we did breach 55, okay, let's take a look here, and actually let's take a bigger step back and look at our higher time frame as well. Oh, that's what I did. All right. Okay, so here's our higher time frame. This was the level we put in here at 55, as you can see. Well, if we need to read it, I think we're going to find some sellers in a bit of a pullback here. But looking for, if we can get back up into this range up here, which was the highs of and close of yesterday, right? So let's see, where was the close? It's right here. Okay, we're just testing the close, actually. So if sellers were in control from the all overnight session here, as you can see. So we're probably going to find some sellers up here because that's where they were at the close, and we saw the reaction to it. All right, and we'll see though, and we'll see if buyers still have control, and they may. But what we're seeing at the moment, and let's start to change our heat map and dots a bit again. All right, yeah, we're finding both a little bit of a battle here. Okay, but we just saw, look how we came up here and we're not trading up into this area. Okay, not seeing sellers though on the other side yet, not a lot. Yeah, in fact, we're still buying pressure in here, still buying pressure back to 55. Okay, and how does 55 trade? Okay, so you can see, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, there's a little bit of volume up here. We're not seeing the big transactions taking place here. We're seeing a bunch of small. Okay, and now we just exhausted out. Okay, sellers coming in. Let's see if, looking for maybe 55 to lighten up here or thicken up. And let's see if the sellers can come in and we can get down maybe and test 52 and then maybe 51 and a quarter here. Okay, but we need sellers now. That's what we're looking for. Okay, and what we're identifying here is the exhaustion here, a little bit of trading here, and then followed by exhaustion. And here it again, exhaustion on that, or very little trading up at this area here at 54 3/4. Okay, we still haven't found, now we're starting to find some sellers. See the selling coming in? Okay, it's just accumulation here. Let's see, we need to see them sweep the book lower though. Okay, if we're going to get some sell side here. And we're just not getting it. I mean, it's setting up here nicely on that buy side. Okay, but the sellers haven't shown up yet. And let's bring our heat map up a bit more. Okay, so more buying. All right, they're going to sweep it higher. All right, well, it was an opportunity for those sellers at this level, and this was the important level, and they didn't show up. Instead, we found our buyers, and they swept it. And actually, this kind of came out of the blue. Now we do see a skew down here at 54. All right, and here's our skew. Very aggressive skews here, very close to current price. All right, we're still finding more buyers too. Okay, and all right, now we're finding some sellers. They took them on here at this 56.5. and let's see if they can now take this lower. Okay, so now we're starting to see, note the reaction to that high liquidity. Okay, we found some sellers. Okay, let's see them come down to 55 would be the first area to test, and then let's see if we can even get down maybe to well, the figure's down here, but maybe this 51 and a quarter. Okay, not a lot of buying up here on this rotation, so let's get the sellers to jump in here. Still, I mean, we see this little, little bit of aggregation or accumulation, I should say, here on that sell side, but we're not seeing the real big dots down below here. We saw them take him on here, but we see the accumulation here, and that looks pretty good, but we need to see more, bigger clusters here of that selling. We might get it right here on this rotation. Let's see them sweep the book lower down to 55. All right, now let's see if we can get these guys on that offer to lower it as well. More supply at lower areas, lower prices. Okay, more selling here as well. All right, any questions on reading that and putting these pieces together? I mean, it started here, right? It started up here. Well, let's zoom back in. Okay, so we went through that same process here. Okay, and this was out of the blue, really. I mean, there was a little bit of a skew here that we can read in the book, but the reaction with the aggressive buying sweeping that book higher, kind of came out of the blue. But reading this area here, well, they're trading up into 55. They're trading up into it. They're starting to pull it, starting to exhaust out here, and we're looking for sellers to come in. Okay, and they don't. We need to see, a lot more selling, especially down here at this retest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times at 54, and we didn't get anything. That's where we need to see it. In this example here, we started to note first off the move up, and then up here, well, they're accumulating small positions, but we're not seeing the big dots like we see over here. Okay, and then we see this very, very high liquidity, very aggressive, close to current price, and the sellers take them on. They trade right into it and through it, and down below they're accumulating here. Okay, we see a distinction here between the two, and here they are again, with more accumulation. Okay, so we're looking for to return back to at least where they initiated from here around 55. Okay, and that's exactly where we just reviewed, or we can see now. We even came through that area down at actually 54 and a quarter. All right. Okay. Now we did get our rotation back up, and we do see a little bit of buying up here. You have to say that, and then one more retest up here, and nothing traded up here on the best offer. We rotated back down again, and then we find sellers even below. Okay, driving it down. All right. So anyway, just putting the pieces together, reading that auction, okay, and reading that reaction to the auction with the aggressor. All right, guys. Well, let's see. We just reviewed that. We reviewed this whole area, actually. Let's see. Was there anything else to review? Our exercise in this little area here, there was a lot of back and forth. It was kind of they kind of showed, then pulled and then showed, and it was kind of just a lot of back and forth during that period. So not too much to read there. We read our higher time frames, okay? This 55 area as being important. We put a little bit of structure on here as well. I haven't covered a lot of structure recently, looking at kind of traditional technical analysis and then order flow within that traditional technical analysis. Maybe I'll cover more of that tomorrow though. But we went through our taking off the volume dots in this exercise of understanding the auction, okay, and how important that is. In fact, basically, well, let me cover it here. Basically, the auction up into this area here, okay, we did have a little bit of insight. Okay, I missed it at 54 here. Okay, and the reaction was the buyer stepped in, right? So let's turn on the dots again. The reaction was the buyer stepped in. Okay, here, right here. Okay, so the but understanding this intent of these traders, okay, and do they mean business, or what is the reaction to the or from the aggressor, gives us a lot of insight, a lot of understanding here. And this, understanding this order book is it gives you one up even on the volume, because the volume is that's what is historic or historical. I mean that's what traded before, and it's already happened. So we're going on kind of what already happened, right? But the order book is forward looking. Okay, that's why we're looking at it, and that's why we're gaining insight from that order book, because we can see how it affects price, and that happens in the current order book, and putting these two pieces together is what really gives us nice insight here. All right, let's see a few more questions and then we'll wrap it up here. Let's see. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll upload these videos, later after they process here today, so you can review the recordings. Big skew into at 54 again here. Let's see. Yeah, exactly, Tom. You're getting it. Nice tell. You see, I mean, like, and this is like the future of price, or the reaction to price, but this is the current view. Okay, we can't get much more current than that. This is really what's happening right now, right? And we can read that intent, and then we can read the reaction to that intent, right? So that's what I think, Tom. I think you're getting it. You're putting the pieces together really nicely here, understanding like this area here and looking at that reaction. Boom, looking for some of these targets, where they were, okay, in the book, and just coming shy of it here. You've noticed for a long time. Okay, I'm sure you have. I should just it just timed nicely there, your comment with the this exercise we've been going through, understanding the order book without volume. That's all. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure, Tom. Very experienced trader. Yeah. Thank you for your insights and comments there. Strong move, guys. Strong move to the upside here. So here's the play, and Tom was all over it. He saw the skew here at 54. Okay, and we saw a pretty strong reaction to it. Okay, so right up into high liquidity. First target was here. Okay, we blazed through all of these levels here. So strong move, looking for higher highs now. That we're in that area up here on our higher time frame. So looking for a move maybe back up into what is this, 63 or so, and then we have a high up here at 66 from yesterday. These are going to be some of the key elements now to keep on the map. All right. let's see here, a few more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Also converges with 54 skew, looking at higher highs. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing probably a lot of stops here hit as well. Let's zoom in here, and I'll just cover this quickly because, starting to understand some of the stops getting hit. Okay. Yeah, I would say this is probably some stop runs in some of these areas up here as well. Why do I say that? Because a lot of this liquidity or the volume is trading kind of at the peaks here, right? These we know that these aren't stops here. The buyers step in at these very moments here, unless they have some sort of crazy volume stop or something like that, right? Anyway, yeah, strong conviction on that buy side, no question about it. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for coming. We'll wrap it up here, and we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Okay, have a good day.